As attorneys, we know the first interaction with law enforcement can shape an entire case. But what if you could be there in real time when it actually happens? Our guest today is Jazz Hampton, a leader proving that tech can change lives in real time. He's the CEO and co-founder of TurnSignl, a groundbreaking app that instantly connects drivers with live attorneys during traffic stops and accidents. Under his leadership, TurnSignl has expanded to all 50 states, earned national coverage. Yeah, a lot of national coverage on NBC, MSNBC, PBS, and won the American Bar Association's Tech Show Startup Alley competition. Jazz is a former attorney and law professor and serves on multiple nonprofit boards. He advocates for the wrongly convicted and is now running for mayor of Minneapolis, which we'll get into. Jazz, welcome to the show.
It's an honor to be here. What an embarrassing intro to have to listen to, but I appreciate it nonetheless. Thanks for having me. I'm thrilled.
Yeah, we're super excited to have you, and shout out to our team and our producer JC for finding all about you and TurnSignl. Want to get into TurnSignl, the app, and showing how this can impact attorney's business, frankly, overnight. And so instead of just like talking about it, why don't we just show a quick example, a live demonstration of how it works? It's a minute-long video that shows what this app can do for consumers and for attorneys in real time. So the context here is a gentleman was pulled over, and that's all we know. He's turned on this app that instantly connects him to an attorney, the gentleman on the right of the screen, who is going to counsel him in real time as he's being questioned by the cops. So let's press play.
Before we continue, a quick note and the only break you'll hear in today's episode. Most attorneys know they should be reaching Hispanic clients, but very few do it well. That's where we come in. At Abogados Now, we build authentic Spanish language campaigns that actually get you more cases and grow your practice. So if you're looking for a new way to get more clients, book a call with our team today at abogadosnow.com. Now, let's get back to the episode.
What's going on?
Pulled over for speeding. But thank
Good.
you so much for picking up. Yeah, he said I was going 68. I was going 5 over, so I was going 60, but
Are you in a 55-mile zone?
yes, sir.
Okay. Ask him if he's going to give you a ticket, ask him if he would please make it out for like 64, anything under 65.
Okay.
Because if he does that, I can show you how you can keep it off your driving record.
Okay.
But it's got to be under 65.
He's not walking back with papers, so well actually we'll see. Under 65, sir?
Yep, Minnesota has. Is he back?
Yes, sir.
Hey, your attorney?
Yes, my attorney. Yep. With
You call your attorney over a speeding ticket?
with TurnSignl.
What's that?
TurnSignl.
What do you mean, TurnSignl?
TurnSignl's the app that when you press
Oh,
the button,
gotcha.
you can
All right.
get the attorney on the phone.
Yes, spotless driving record. So just a warning today.
Thank you, sir.
Speeding, post. Speeding 155, so just pay attention to the mess you're going.
All right, sounds good.
All right,
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
That sounds
Oh.
good. Thank you so much.
Yeah. All right. I'll stay in touch and I'll email that to you.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thanks, Andre. Bye.
That's amazing. So Jazz, this is a remarkable app. It literally puts an attorney on the scene at an accident in real time or in any kind of like police questioning situations. Tell us about how you thought about this app and why you built it.
Yeah. Well, thanks for the compliment. I love that video. It's a pretty good example of what the interactions actually look like, and the skilled attorney that's Alan. He's answered a lot of calls on the platform. Yeah, it started, myself and my co-founders were born and raised in Minnesota. And unfortunately, we are now known for tragedies like Philando Castile or George Floyd and so many others that started in a vehicle with a police interaction and ended in tragedy. And so after George Floyd, actually, my co-founders called me and they said, Jazz, you're a lawyer with a computer science undergrad degree. I started as a certified public defender in law school for a couple of years here in Minnesota as well. And they just said, what if you could be in the car with everyone every time they were pulled over? And we started building the model. Frankly, the goal is really simple. It's to de-escalate the interaction, to protect that driver's rights, and to third and most importantly, ensure everyone gets home safely. And I can't tell you, I mean, it's used well over 100, 130, 140 times a month across the country. And what I always say is oftentimes someone just says, I just want someone to be here with me, or I don't really know what I should and shouldn't be doing, or I'm just nervous. And we wanted to provide someone in that moment. You know, I'm sure you and other lawyers know, I get calls from people constantly. Often when they call me, they're already in the jail and asking me if they should be doing a breathalyzer test or if they should be doing X, Y, and Z. And oftentimes it's too late to give some good guidance in that moment. And so we want to be there on the front end.
That's wild. So tell us a little bit about the company. It's clearly a tech company, and based out of Minneapolis. Is that right?
Yeah, so we're based out of Minneapolis, Minnesota. Our office is still here. We have attorneys in every single jurisdiction, though. That's one thing I should have denoted. When you press the button, it doesn't matter if you downloaded the app in Minnesota and registered in Minnesota and your address is Minnesota. If you drive across the river and you're in Wisconsin and you press the button when you're pulled over, we connect you with an attorney that practices law in that jurisdiction. So it actually started in Minnesota, and we only could answer calls in Minnesota. And then we retained enough attorneys to answer calls in Georgia. And then I think next was California, and then Florida. And it expanded and kept going until we had the amount to cover all 50 states. And so now we're in all 50 states plus DC. I will say the DMV region, the DC, Maryland, Virginia was tough because we wanted to turn all of those on at the same time. And so it's been a wild journey, but yeah, it's a tech company that's looking to connect people to a driver. Not to belittle the technology that is behind the product, but I always say we are just an expedited version of the Yellow Pages. If you could, in the old days, get pulled over and you had the Yellow Pages, you can call an attorney and be guaranteed they're going to answer within 15 to 30 seconds and look you in the eye to help you. That's what we are. We just made it possible with technology.
Yeah. So I love, first off, the altruistic mission of documentation, making sure everyone's safe, like equity. I love all of that. And I think a lot of people would appreciate that. But on the flip side, there's also some amazing benefits for a law firm, for their business. This is like the most high impact lead generation tool maybe ever that I've ever seen. And, I've been in this space for close to a decade now. And I don't know that any technology has ever come close to putting an attorney at the time of an incident like this. So I'm sure our audience are legal professionals, largely attorneys. Tell us about the model. Like if an attorney wants to be on this app, they want to be on the rotation of phone calls or video calls in this case. How does it work? What does it cost? Tell us about what other benefits there are in joining TurnSignl.
Yeah, so there's no cost to join the platform at this time. We are just thrilled to have people join and be a part of the work that we're doing. And then we are able to give some supplemental offerings. At this time, we're offering supplemental offerings for people when you do answer calls. So right now it's $50 if you answer a call, whether it's 1 minute or 20 minutes. It's $50. And then my favorite part actually is if they fill out a survey, or even if they fill out a survey and say, I didn't have the best interaction. Any survey right now we're saying is really valuable to tell the story of the platform. And so we bump it up to $200 in that moment. So it's a great opportunity for people to supplement income and have a nice little opportunity to do that. I mean, we have one attorney, and that attorney that was just on the screen, he's answered a lot of calls every month. And there's another one in California who it seems like he just gets every one because the beauty of the technology actually is we call all of the attorneys in that jurisdiction simultaneously. It's actually first come, first serve. So the faster you are, the more likely you are to have more opportunities to connect with people. And then, at the end of the call, and this is really important for all of the legal reasons, I'm sure a lot of lawyers watching this right now are asking a lot of legal questions in their mind. We had asked 3 questions at the end of the call. 1, would you like to hang up right now? Because we don't want to accidentally do that. 2, would you like to talk to an attorney again about this interaction? And if they say yes to that one, the third and final one is, would you like to talk to the attorney that you worked with today? Only at that moment do we remove the firewall and exchange information. So if you were to say, no, I don't want to talk to another attorney, or no, I don't want to talk to this one, that attorney does not have your cell phone, your email, any information, and they won't be contacting you. only if you say that I want them and that specific one to contact me. Also, that's a great way to ensure that our attorneys are doing a really wonderful job.
Yeah.
You answer the call, you're going to be helpful, you're not going to be combative, you're not going to be rude, because if you want to work with them in the future, that won't be helpful. And so it's actually fostered an incredible environment where I know that both in pullover situations and in car accident situations, people have gone back directly to that attorney in subsequent matters that they had. It's a really wonderful opportunity for attorneys to build a brand. And that's the other thing. We love for people to be evangelical about being on the platform. If you're talking to an attorney or you're interviewing multiple attorneys, and they say like, have you heard of this TurnSignl thing? I've been doing this for 5 years, and that's how I show up in community and for folks who need help. It's a really great way to show the kind of attorney that you are as well.
That's amazing. So right now, how many attorneys do you have on the platform, more or less?
Over 300 attorneys on the platform. But I will say a lot of them are multiple jurisdictions. In fact, I know that attorney there, he does it from altruistic standpoint. He is a retired judge, and he lives in Arizona. He's snowbirds, as we call it. He lives in Arizona, but practiced law his whole life and was a judge in Minnesota.
Wow.
And he snowbirds, and he maintains both licenses, active insurance as well, in both jurisdictions, which is a requirement on the platform as well, just to answer calls and to help people in their moment of need. And I guess that, to your other question as well, that's the process, right? You go to our website, TurnSignl.com, spelled without the A, because there's a lack of access to justice. And until there is access to justice for everyone, we won't have an A in our name. And so you go to TurnSignl.com, and you can just click that you're an attorney and fill out the paperwork. We, of course, do like a background check, ensure there's no disciplinary actions pending or serious that would prevent us from being comfortable with that person being on the platform, insurance check, all of that, and then you're on. It can take just a few days. We also do a de-escalation training, which is really, really interesting around, we've all been lawyers and we've all spent time in court, but have you been roadside with someone before? And how do you navigate that really well?
Oh my gosh, that's fantastic. So I'm curious, so like, where do you take the app now? It's been a couple of years since the app has been live. Now it's nationwide. What are the developments, like the iterations that are coming out in the next few years?
Yeah, so it started just as a consumer product, and to anyone who might be wanting this for their child or loved one or family members that isn't an attorney, it's $60 a year. And that means if you're pulled over 100 times or in 100 accidents, it's still $60 a year. You aren't paid per use on this platform. And if you're low income, we have a wait list, and then we have people that will pay those memberships on your behalf. The Minnesota Vikings, Caribou Coffee, really great organizations that are paying for low income people to have the same access to the same platform, which is amazing. So that's how we've started. We have now moved into being offered as an employee benefit. I mean, we are an employee benefit in Fortune 50 companies that offer this as a benefit to being an employee at their company. Places like Zillow, Google, all offering this as an employee benefit, all the way down to hospitals and nonprofit organizations like Habitat for Humanity here in the Twin Cities. They're saying if you're going to drive to work and your kids' basketball team around the weekend, we want you feeling safe. And that's enough. So that is an expansion that we've already done. Now over 200,000 covered lives on the platform. And the next step, really simply put, is just to integrate into vehicles. It's funny, like you and I can say OnStar, and you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
We want to be the next version of OnStar. We, as lawyers, we all remember the days of like really big conference tables and those triangles phones in the middle, and you're just screaming at the triangle conference phone. Now we do Zoom no matter what. Technology has evolved, and so has it in the vehicle. And so now those video calls will be happening on the touchscreen of vehicles as well. And so that's the next iteration, being the next OnStar in vehicles. And we're actively working with car companies. One of the former CEO of General Motors invested in our company because he saw that this was going to be the opportunity to expand into vehicles going forward.
So actual like video installations native in vehicles.
It's not live and it's not public yet.
Yeah.
But we were the first people in the country to make a video call on the touchscreen. We already can. If you pop me in certain cars, newer Volvos or the Cadillac Lyriq or a lot of the newer Escalate that have the updated Google system, we can make a video call in that vehicle right now.
That's mind blowing. That's amazing. And so that just seems inevitable, right? And so I'm curious, have you seen any applications on this use with like immigration enforcement? Because I could see how, having an attorney during, an ICE interrogation or some kind of raid could be helpful.
Absolutely. We've had people pulled over that have concerns about their immigration status and how that will affect the interaction they have. And since we have been we started this in October of 2020. I've never received more consistent calls and requests than what we have received around immigration. And so, yes, we're building that out. I don't think I'm allowed to say when the launch is, but if there's any attorney watching this that does criminal and or immigration work, or personal injury and immigration work, please go to our website and reach out, because we're building that out. Because frankly, and we saw it in Minnesota, it wasn't national news, but what's happening in LA right now, we had a version of that here in Minneapolis. And as someone running for mayor, I was physically there during a big raid with trucks, and it was on one of our busier intersections in a highly immigrant community. And we want to be there for those people, just like we wanted to be there for folks that are getting pulled over after the tragedy of George Floyd. And so, yes, expanding into more opportunities like that is the next step, the natural step for us, and it's coming sooner than you'd think.
That's great. I just want to offer, and this is not in any shape or form a business development offer. It's more or less just something we want to look after the Hispanic community, and if we can help you get more criminal defense attorneys and immigration attorneys in your network, we'd be happy to do so by reaching out to our massive list. And everyone that goes to our website at no exchange, because we think this would be a fantastic tool, especially, I'm not sure, like, for instance, is there like coverage in Spanish, for instance, where the app can change languages if possible?
Within 1 month from today, our automatic video translation will launch. So it doesn't matter if the attorney is speaking Spanish and you are speaking French. The automatic translation on screen with captions will be live within 30 to 45 days. And so it doesn't matter what language even folks are speaking, because don't get me wrong, half our attorneys in Georgia speak Spanish. In California, similar situation, just naturally because of the need in those communities. Right. But yeah, so this is absolutely the next venture, the next step. And I think I didn't mention this. I was a corporate lawyer. Like I represented Fortune 50 companies in their litigation as a insurance defense attorney for years as a litigator. After George Floyd, I was up for partner the next year. And when George Floyd was murdered, I quit and I started TurnSignl, with my wife's permission, that is. And so I did that because I felt this pull, like I have to do something about this. And what is happening in the immigration space is the first time I've felt that level of a pull again in my life since the summer of 2020. I literally have goosebumps right now. Like there's a deep, deep need, and we have to be the people to meet the moment.
Yeah, amazing. So what has been the most surprising feedback you've gotten about the app from the consumer and also from attorneys?
From consumers, I think that it shocks them that an attorney would show up for them and talk to them in this moment. I think there's a wrongfully placed assumption about attorneys that like we're all kind of assholes, or we're too busy, or we don't have the time for folks. And that's just not true. We just didn't have an easy way of connecting. This just makes it so easy. And I didn't even mention this in the app. When you have, as an attorney, you have the app and you can just open the app and say, like, I can't take calls right now. Of course, you can just ignore them at any time because we're calling all the attorneys simultaneously. But if you're going into a hearing and you really want to make sure nothing comes through, you can just hit, I'm not available right now. And then when you leave, you can turn it back on. But here's the thing, it's just the ease of doing that. You could be sitting in a conference room right now and one will come in and be like, hey guys, this could be really important. I'm going to take it. Or you don't have to. That is the beauty. And so it's for both attorneys and for drivers, I think that's one of the more surprising things for them to learn is the barriers to entry to being a part of the platform are not super high. If you don't answer a call for 6 months, it's not like we're going to call you and be like, what the hell are you doing? We're going to say, I hope you get the next one. I hope you're available, because we have others there to back up and do that work as well. And so really, it's just a great way to be there to serve people. And I hear from attorneys so much that like, these are their favorite stories. We had a car spontaneously combust on the freeway heading into downtown Atlanta, and the driver pulled over. And he was like, I don't know what's going on. His car was engulfed in flames behind him in the video. And he didn't know how it like randomly started on fire. After that, his wife called us. They called our corporate line and we're like, hey guys, my husband was like a shaking mess and he could hardly like put sentences together. But then we watched the video of him talking to the attorney. It was smooth. It was clear. The attorney was giving directions and he was following them. Like that is the kind of stories we hear time and time again. And as an attorney, like that's the fun stuff that we like don't get to do too often. And so it's also really fun for them to be there as well.
This is super disruptive in such a remarkable way. Like I can't speak more highly of this. This is truly like changing not just access, but I'm also thinking of just the business benefits for a law firm. I think of a solo practitioner who is looking for a new way to engage with the community, and tell people that you don't have to pay a premium just to speak to them. The heat of the moment is just remarkable. So,
and the last thing I'll say, I know we're running over on time. The last thing I'll say on that too is, as an attorney, especially an attorney who's tried, accident cases, ensuring that you have the best evidence when you show up to court one day, like making sure that you get the tire marks, making sure that you get the skid, the where the gator peeled off the tire and flew, like that. An accident reconstructionist cannot go back and get later. There's a premium on that as well.
Absolutely. So let's briefly pivot here. I know you're running for mayor right now in Minneapolis.
Yeah.
Tell us about what prompted the run for mayor and how it's going so far.
Yeah, I mean, we've just been a city that's been stuck in gridlock. Our city council and our mayor's office have been in intense battle, all Democratic, 13 city council members and a mayor, all Democrats, but really tense battles within that party still that has proven to prevent us from making traction around public safety. Like Minneapolis should be the beacon of public safety and systems that have been rebuilt after tragedy, because we had all the momentum and willingness from partners here. We haven't done it. 911 calls. I just talked to someone who waited on 5 minutes for 911. The amount of like over 400 windows smashed in the last few days in the city of Minneapolis in cars. We're having issues there. Affordable housing, like a lot of places in our country, is struggling. And then the last is like the economic rebounding of the city. I think all kind of downtown and our major areas struggled after 2020. We also were the site of George Floyd at the same time. And the mass civil protests that came with that resulted in even more difficult times coming out of it. And the tension has prevented us from moving forward. And frankly, like we don't have anyone that's just like optimistic and positive. And it's like, you can disagree with me on policy. I'm going to sit at the table with you and I'm going to get it done with you. Like, it's funny. We love diversity in all things except for diversity of thought around like a political strategy. And I love that. Like, I have a brother that is the opposite political end of the spectrum than I am. I love him when we talk on the phone every day. And that's fine because we can work towards a solution if the end goal is still the same. And we've just been missing that in the city. And, I've done it all. So as a courtroom lawyer, I started this business. I've been running for 5 years. I'm a professor of entrepreneurial finance at a university now, teaching others how to build businesses as well. I'm on nonprofit boards for 5 years that have addressed affordable housing and philanthropic giving around climate change. And also, I am on the Great North Innocence Project board, and in 2023 represented a wrongfully incarcerated person that spent 19 years in prison for a crime that he did not commit. He was locked up when he was 16 years old. Plucked off the streets as a 16-year-old, spent 19 years in prison. And now we get to spend Thanksgiving together every year. And so that is like my background of business, of law, of community engagement and social justice work, and also management and managing a team and a city council that can help us move the city forward finally in a super positive way. We have an opportunity to have Minneapolis live up to its full potential. I've lived within 7 miles for my entire life, 7-mile circle, and I want to make it the best version of the city that we've ever seen it be.
Jazz, good luck on the race.
Appreciate
Good luck with the future developments on the app. We'll be watching, especially with this live audio translation. That's been pretty awesome, and we'll definitely be in touch and helping promote the app so that you can get some more attorneys within the network. I know several of our clients would be super happy to be on this app.
Love it.
So thank you again for joining us. Thanks to the Avocados Now team for producing another amazing episode. This is like one of my favorite ones ever. It's amazing.
Same, but I'm biased.
Yeah. So thank you, Jazz, again, and until next time, take care.
Have a good one. Thanks.